Get ready to discover the secret weapon Japan just gave Ukraine, and it's making Putin tremble. Imagine having an eye in the sky that sees through clouds, day and night, revealing every enemy movement. This cutting-edge tech isn't sci-fi. It's Synthetic Aperture Radar, or SAR, and it's rewriting the rules of war, letting Ukraine strike Russia like never before. You won't want to miss this incredible story. Before we dive into the mind-blowing details of this technology, if you love understanding the more geeky and strategic side of conflicts, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave us a like, and please, tell us in the comments where in the world you're watching from. Your engagement helps us immensely keep bringing you content like this. SAR, Ukraine's all-seeing eye. On April 22, Japan announced a huge step in its cooperation with Ukraine, providing satellite intelligence via its SAR satellites.
This decision marks a significant strategic shift for Japan and complements the geolocation data Ukraine already receives. The Deep State Monitoring Group, quoted by the New Voice of Ukraine, called it the first step of this level of cooperation from Japan, with data provided by the Japanese institute iQPS.
iQPS systems have been integrated into Ukraine's intelligence platforms, promising battlefield imagery with unprecedented detail. But what makes SAR so special? Unlike traditional satellites, which use cameras and are vulnerable to weather like clouds or fog, SAR operates differently. According to IC, a leading SAR tech company, this system sends radar pulses from an antenna directly to the ground. These pulses create echoes, which are collected and converted into data. From this data, the satellite can form high-definition images of Earth's surface, regardless of cloud cover or other obstructions.
YouTuber Wes O'Donnell compares it to sonar for satellites. SAR images offer not only greater clarity, but are also more up-to-date. By comparing SAR images of the same area over time, you can detect minute changes like tire tracks or vehicles hidden under camouflage. This means Putin's forces can no longer hide or rely on bad weather to move equipment. Ukraine's new all-seeing eye detects everything in real time, ensuring an immediate response to any Russian movement.
Japan's innovation. Small yet mighty SAR satellites. SAR technology is expensive, with large, heavy satellites. However, Japan's iQPS has solved this problem. According to the Japanese government, iQPS is one of only a few private companies globally that develops and operates much smaller, more cost-effective SAR satellites. Each iQPS satellite weighs only about 220 pounds, costs a fraction of larger ones, yet captures images with an impressive 18.1-inch resolution. This precision allows for identifying specific vehicles, tents, and military hardware. Thanks to SAR, Ukraine can now identify targets anytime, day or night, regardless of weather conditions. iQPS plans to expand its satellite constellation. In March 2024, Rocket Lab launched an iQPS SAR satellite, the first of 8 contracted launches. 6 are scheduled for 2025 and 2 for 2026. Adding to a previous launch in December 2023, Ukraine will have access to about 10 of these satellites by late 2026, generating crucial battlefield imagery, growing, and strategic support. Japan isn't the only country giving Ukraine SAR access. Ukraine also collaborates with Germany, Italy, and Finland. However, Japan's support is unique. While other allies provide direct military aid, Japan has primarily been a humanitarian and financial donor. 1.74 billion in humanitarian aid and 10.6 billion in financial aid, per the Kiel Institute. Now, it's delivering satellite imagery it knows will be used for direct military purposes. This worries Putin. It's not just SAR's power, but what this decision signifies. SAR is the latest in a line of direct military support Japan is now providing, and that support is growing. Since the invasion, Japan has gradually become more entwined with Ukraine. Holding the G7 presidency in 2023, Japan ensured G7 nations remain focused on Ukraine.
Former Prime Minister Fumio Kishida showed this support with a state visit to Ukraine, the first by a Japanese leader to a conflict zone since World War II.
In February 2024, Tokyo hosted a conference resulting in over 50 cooperation documents. In August 2024, Japan became the first non-NATO country to sign a bilateral security agreement with Ukraine, pledging non-lethal arms and humanitarian economic aid. More recently, in April 2024, Japan announced 30 new military vehicles, 6 already delivered, adding to 101 previously donated. In May, Japan provided high-precision tools for inspecting damaged transport infrastructure, vital for Ukrainian logistics. Japan's cultural transformation and Ukraine's dependence. We're seeing a clear pattern. Japan, long a nation that sought neutrality in global conflicts, is now fully backing Ukraine.
For Putin, this is bad news, as a key Indo-Pacific power broker views him as a threat.
Japan's increasing support and SAR satellites indicate a cultural transformation within the nation. Wes O'Donnell notes that Japan has never done this before, not for the US or NATO, but they just did it for Ukraine. Why? Because Russia's war is changing old habits fast. Japan, once neutral, is becoming a military powerhouse. Increased defense spending is a sign. From $48.2 billion in 2023 to $55.3 billion in 2024, the largest one-year increase since 1952. Article 9 of Japan's constitution, which forgoes war as a means of self-defense, is being reinterpreted. The purchase of 400 Tomahawk cruise missiles from the US for $2.35 billion demonstrates Japan's seriousness about being ready for a fight. Beyond the Ukraine agreement, Japan has signed reciprocal access agreements with the UK, Australia, and the Philippines, and deepened deterrence talks with the US. Japan has become more than a silent partner. While it hasn't agreed to send lethal weapons yet, it's clearly preparing for a fight, and it might not be long before Japan sees Russia as such a massive threat that it starts sending weapons into Ukraine. Japan's decision has crucial implications for Ukraine. In March, following a disagreement, the US temporarily cut off Ukraine's access to its satellite intelligence, revealing Ukraine's dependence. Though access was restored, the incident showed the relationship's fragility. SAR satellites from Japan and other European allies, being outside the US network, provide a crucial alternative. They'll continue beaming images to Ukraine with or without US involvement, making Ukraine less dependent. Japan's SAR, along with initiatives like the Intermarsat constellation, over 70 non-US controlled imagery satellites, creates a vital safety net for Ukraine.
Finally, Putin is terrified of Japan's SAR satellites because they're fully integrated with Ukraine's military equipment. This isn't just about spying. O'Donnell says, SAR data now flows straight to Ukraine's drone operators, artillery planners, and HIMARS crews. Ukraine gains access to near real-time battlefield intelligence without hurdles or delays. This full integration lets Ukraine react to Russian movements almost instantly.
Russia has nothing comparable. Its own SAR satellites are older, slower, and about as subtle as a dump truck in a ballet class, with quickly outdated images. Thanks to Japan, Ukraine can now stay several steps ahead of Russia, leading to more attacks on key Russian positions and weakening its offensives.
And if all this wasn't bad enough for Putin, he's also dealing with losses on a scale even he's afraid to admit.
Find out what we mean in our video, explaining how Russia's casualty rate may have already put victory out of reach for Putin. And remember to subscribe for more videos covering the latest developments in the Ukraine war.